Yes.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
Be cool. My name is Caitlin Stedman. It is December 8th, 2017, and I'm interviewing my parents, Deborah and Stephen Stedman, about their Christmas traditions. So if you wanted to start off by telling a little bit about your childhood Christmas traditions, where you grew up, all that sort of thing.
I grew up in Corinth, New York. I was born July 8, 1947, and the real earlier Christmases, all I remember about when I was little is we would get up at some ungodly hour of the morning. It would always be dark, and my mother would tell us we could come downstairs and we'd tear into our gifts. There were myself, my brother, and 2 sisters. We're all within 4 years of each other's age. And the traditions in the house, as I can remember, is my father would have his brother, my uncle, and my aunt, his wife, come over, and my father and uncle would get drunk, and my aunt and my mother would talk on into the night, and the next morning my mother would get up with us, and my father would appear sometime later because he was completely hungover. And that was kind of, and we had dinner together Christmas Day, and that was always a family thing, and it was just a relaxing hungover day. Whoa.
Oh. Do I have to introduce myself? I'm Debbie Stedman, and I grew up in Fort Edward, New York. I'm an only child, so my Christmases were very different, much quieter. It was just a very quiet day. My father and I always went to church, and I would open my gifts, and it was kind of stressful for my mother because she always put on a big dinner for everyone, and her sister and her family would come and have a big dinner, and it was just a very quiet day. I do remember one year when I got a dollhouse, which were metal back then, and they were bringing it down the stairs and either dropped it or bumped the wall or something, and I heard it, and that's when I kind of put together that Mom and Dad are Santa. So that's a memory that I have.
My father had to tell me when I was in 6th grade that there was no Santa, and I cried my face off.
Oh no!
I could not believe it.
I don't remember how old I was with the dollhouse, so I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know.
I was getting too old. It hurt.
No.
Is there anything specific that you guys did? Like some people go caroling, you mentioned going to church. Is there any like specific Christmas traditions that you guys did?
We would have dinner Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Sometimes we go to midnight mass.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother was an altar server, so he always participated in Christmas mass. But,
My mother was a great baker and always liked to bake and decorate cookies, so I would help her with that once in a while.
oh yeah, we
That
always
was
had
fun.
food all over the
Yeah.
house. It was big.
Mm-hmm.
Pastries and cookies and wine.
So what kind of traditions did you guys start?
Well, we started collecting ornaments. And every year since we got married, we'd add an ornament.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exchange
We'd exchange ornaments. This was our very first ornament, going back to 1973. When we first met, it was our first Christmas. I had already asked your mother to marry me, which was about 2 or 3 months after we met, but I was struck. And so this is our very first ornament.
Yes.
So this one's 44 years old. In my family, this Santa is a plastic Santa, and my father always made a big deal of putting it on the tree every Christmas. The back is broken. It used to have a bulb in it, and as far as I know, for 70 years, this has been on a tree. And when my father passed away, I found this plastic Santa. I think we had it before then. But at any rate, I've carried on the tradition of putting this Santa on the tree every year. So as far as I know, it's been 70 years on a tree.
So how did you guys decide what traditions you were going to do with us as kids?
Well, we thought it would be nice to carry on the tradition of ornaments. So from the first year, your first Christmas, we would buy you an ornament and put it on your tree. You each had a tree in your room at one time, and we would put the ornaments on the tree, and we've done that over the years. You would each get an ornament.
When you guys were real little, Mom would take you upstairs to read a book, and while you guys were upstairs listening to the story, Dad was out in the garage or out on the porch in the closets, putting the gifts all over the place. And had you guys ever come downstairs, it would have been like Santa came early. But you never came down. By the time Mom came downstairs, we finished up by filling your stockings together.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, you guys would always, get up early. But you guys were different. You never tore into your gifts. It took
No.
all day for you guys to open your presents, because you would open a present and play with it, and open a present and play with it, and we'd have breakfast, and we'd have lunch or something, and by evening you still had things to open. So it was a lot of fun because it lasted the whole day.
Day long. Yeah. Yeah.
And when they were alive, we had grandparents over for dinner. And then they passed away or got too sick or whatever, and now it's just the four of us.
Four of us,
But
yeah.
the tradition of opening up a gift the night before,
Oh, yeah.
and we all get together Christmas Day and go around, your brother and you, and then Ma and I, we'd open a gift and then take turns. So it'd take quite a while to open up everything and comment on everything.
Do you think that you enjoyed Christmas more as a kid or as an adult with kids?
Oh, as an adult, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas is for kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice to have family get together, but it's still nice because you guys still, it's fun. Because you don't know what you're getting, and it's just a nice, relaxing day.
Yeah, it was fun to see how excited you were with what you got. Especially if it was on your list. So, yeah.
And let's see. How is it different having Christmas traditions with adult children versus little kids? Are there any traditions that you hope that we keep doing?
Well, I hope you still do ornaments.
Yeah, that would be nice to keep doing the ornaments. Still getting together would be
Just
nice.
getting together.
On the holiday and celebrating and reminiscing and all of that stuff. That would be nice if you carried that on throughout your adult life.
We used to sing carols Christmas Eve.
We did. We used to sing Christmas carols.
Yeah. We used to go to church
We did.
Christmas Eve and come home, and we'd have all kinds of snacks
And open one gift and then
and open a gift.
that would be that till the next day.
Is there any Christmas tradition that you wish that you had done as kids or now that you haven't?
Yeah, I wish it was more family oriented when I was a kid. I mean, we had the family, but it was never close. It was like we always separated. In other words, we go play with our stuff separately, and there was never
Oh.
I don't know, never felt like the family closeness to me.
No. It was just me. That was fine at the time. Yeah.
Have you always had fake Christmas tree, or did you ever do the going out and cutting down your own?
We used to go out and cut down our own when you guys were little. And I can remember Caitlin in her little pink snowsuit. We went to Fort Ann and sat on the ground and was very upset and cried
Yeah.
because she was cold and didn't want to be there while we picked out a tree.
It's all grumped out.
All grumped out, yeah.
And we only started getting artificial trees when you guys got a little older, and the trees got so ridiculously
Expensive, and we just don't do that anymore.
So it's just easier now. Always like the smell of an artificial tree, or a real tree.
Mm-hmm.
How is it having Christmas with a grand dog?
It's awesome. He's very good. He doesn't get into anything. He just comes in and investigates, and sometimes he'll stay, and
Just wouldn't be
Sometimes he
Christmas
leaves.
without our dog.
that's right.
Dog comes in, sniffs out everything, and gets in the way, and
Yeah.
goes
and
after the wrappers, and
then he leaves.
yeah, and then
He gets
leaves.
bored.
Then he gets bored.
All right. So we've hit time on our interview. Is there anything you would like to say in closing? Or anything you didn't get to say earlier?
No.
It's been good doing this because I still got a lot of things I haven't said that your memory goes back to.
Mm-hmm.
But this was good to do this.
Yeah, it's nice to think back on things, especially when you kids were little. That's when it was really fun.
But we have fun with you guys year round. Christmas is nice, but we've got two great children who are not children anymore.
Adult children.
But we're just so lucky to have the two kids we have
That's true.
because they're very close to us and we're close to them, and they're good people.
I agree.
Well, thanks, guys.
We did good.